Absolutely. I mean, just our running habits. And Russell, don't get it messed up. Russ is one of the best players our league has ever seen. And there's still a ton left in that tank. I don't know why people tend to try to write him off. I'm going to approach him like I do every player I've ever encountered. We're going to talk about our running habits with the ball, without the ball. And again, the team, the rhythm of the team, and trying to establish a rhythm with LeBron, Russ, AD, and again, share the load defensively and offensively. Defensively is where you're going to see us make our biggest leaps and bounds. We have to commit to the defensive side of the ball, or we don't have a chance to do anything. The offense won't even matter if we don't get stops. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say yes. Russ and I have had some really, really great one-on-one convos, man. And the biggest word I think came out of those discussions were sacrifice. That was the biggest word. It was sacrifice. We're going to sacrifice whatever we got to do. And it's not just Russ. There's going to be sacrifices that LeBron has to make, the AD has to make, on down the line through the rest of our roster. Again, we have to start on the defensive end. And in terms of what his role is going to be, I'm going to expect him to be the same tenacious, high-energy player that he's been on his entire career. A lot of it now may happen without the ball in his hand. Most of it now may happen on the defensive end. But again, we have to sacrifice. There's no achieving anything without all parties, sharing the load, sacrificing, and depending on one another. Just maintenance. And he's done a phenomenal job his entire career taking care of his body and spending the resources and provide himself with the right people around him to make sure he's able to sustain the type of level you see him play at even to this day. So just being and not just Bron, but AD, Russ, our entire group, like we're really, really player health conscious. Like we'll get with the performance team, build out a plan for everybody. And again, the plan is to get stronger as the season gets longer. So that'll be my number one goal, is to try to lessen some of the wear and tear on LeBron, because, I feel like he's shown that that level he's playing at is not going anywhere anytime soon. So I just want to try to help and assist him with being able to sustain that level.
Hey, Darvin.
I think he's the key. Like, he's the key. We've all seen what can happen when he's healthy, when he's playing at a high level. He's in a good rhythm. We saw it in the bubble. His skill set, his size, his versatility, his defensive acumen, like his relentlessness, his ability to give multiple efforts defensively is key. It's going to be the foundation of the type of standard we set within a quote-unquote Darvin Ham era. Like, it's going to be built on that defense, and he's going to be the main piece, the centerpiece of it. LeBron is always going to be great. LeBron is going to be LeBron. Russ is going to be Russ. But we need consistency out of Anthony Davis. We need him to be healthy. We need him to be in a good mental space. And we need him to be consistent as possible, back to playing that championship-type basketball at that level. And we're going to do everything in our power to support him and give him whatever he needs and keep him moving forward, and again, getting stronger as the season gets longer. It creates a certain type of mentality to where you don't want to cut any corners. Like, you have to make sure you're on point, understand what the details are, whether we're watching film and you're talking about coverages or your workouts in the summertime, being specifically locked in on what it is your job is going to be. And being able to coach these guys at this level, that's, everybody here that's playing in the NBA has talent. But how do you focus that talent in the right areas, in the right directions, so your team can thrive, based on as being one of many contributions. And we know we have our stars and Bron, AD, Russ, and the like. And but it's those Austin Reeves, it's those Stanley Johnsons, these guys, the more they continue to get better, sometimes it's the most fulfilling, because they're growing. You're developing and growing your kids from within. And I've seen that happen when we were in Atlanta. I saw it happen in Milwaukee, and I wholeheartedly anticipate it happening here in LA. I grew up in Saginaw, Michigan. I was shot in the face by accident, April 5th, 1988. You go through something like that, it's going to do one or two things. It's going to make you fearful or fearless. It made me fearless. I don't feel no pressure. It's basketball. We're going to talk about some of our military representatives across the seas fight for our democracy. That's pressure. This here is a challenge. And it's something that can be navigated. We have a great partnership, me and Rob, that's going to grow and continue to build. We have great ownership group. We have great people around our building, great people involved in our personnel decisions. I look forward to it. Like I wanted to talk. I talked to LeBron my first day in the gym, and I wanted to start training camp the next day. I got so excited, and just to hear his excitement over the phone is like, man, and to see Russ and talk to AD and talk to Russ, and it just these guys, you know, they're not great by mistake, and they want to be able to do something. And I know all of them feel this way. They want to be able to do something collectively that's great. Put another banner in this building, and it starts right now. So that's just a challenge. That's not pressure. I've seen real pressure in life. So to me, this is fun. This is something that's going to be joyful, something we're going to look back on, remember these days, and when we're popping bottles of champagne somewhere, celebrating another banner going up. Oh man, it was great, and God rest his soul, man. We spent a lot of time together on the practice floor, individual workouts, watching film, watching clips, and if I can go back and forth with him and have him disagree with me and then double back and tell me I was right, and we all know how stubborn he was, man. It's just it just gave me a wealth of confidence, man, in myself as a coach, and you know, just seeing him and him sharing with me the different ways he saw the game. But Kobe was right, you know, at the forefront of that in my own development as a coach. You know, just the workouts we would do on the court, the type of film we would watch, dinners we've had just offline, just getting away from it all. Like, you know, he's a big part of why I was able to grow the way I did as a coach.
And the things that stood out to Darvin in the interview process was the two words he's been using. One is sacrifice. He was a player in the league that made every sacrifice to be great. He wasn't a superstar. He knew what it takes to be in the gaps, to do the little things to make his teams great, like the championship team he was on. And then toughness. I think one of the things we lacked as a team last year is an identity of toughness. And I think we're excited to see how Coach, with his leadership style, will bring those attributes to our team next year. And as he said, there's going to be expectations, especially on the defensive end, that those words carry forward, words like toughness and sacrifice and accountability. And that's what Coach Ham's leadership stands for and represents.
I was going to officially introduce Russell.